Stop scrolling. You have a project you know you should be executing right now, but instead, you're falling down this endless feed. It is easy to justify the delay by waiting for a burst of inspiration, convincing yourself that the work can only begin once the right feeling arrives. This is the motivation myth, the belief that emotional readiness is a prerequisite for physical action. Relying on a fleeting emotion to dictate productivity leads to passivity. When you wait to feel ready, you outsource your progress to a biological fluke. Biologically, motivation is a short-term chemical spike. It evolved for survival bursts, not sustained focus. Linking work to these spikes creates intermittent progress. When the surge fades, effort stops, creating flat lines of abandoned projects. Since these spikes are unpredictable, using them as a primary strategy is unreliable. Consistency requires a mechanical alternative that functions regardless of how you feel. High achievers reverse this sequence. They recognize that action can be used to manufacture the very feeling they were waiting for. This is the momentum engine. Taking a physical step triggers a dopamine release. This chemical shift provides motivation, making the next step easier. As the loop repeats, it creates velocity. Once established, the system requires less effort to maintain, bypassing the brain's initial resistance. This loop is effective across different disciplines, from the first mile of a run to the first paragraph of a business plan. Drive is a mechanical output. It is the predictable result of starting a specific physiological sequence. To trigger this engine daily, you only need to commit to 20 focused, uninterrupted minutes. This is cognitive friction. Facing a massive goal triggers a freeze response, treating the sheer scale as a threat. Shrinking the window to 20 minutes lowers this friction. Moving the task below the brain's threat threshold allows you to begin without mental pushback. The goal is not to finish the project in this time. It is simply to maintain deep focus long enough for the momentum loop to take over. For most people, 20 minutes is the transition point where the brain moves from resistance to a flow state. It is the time required for the cold start of the engine to become self-sustaining. Once you pass that 20-minute mark, the task tips past its center of gravity, the initial friction dissolves, and the momentum you've generated begins to carry the work forward. Repeating this daily makes the transition easier. These micro-actions eventually solidify into habits that function automatically. Over months, these habits compound. The small daily blocks stack into the results that define a career or a lifestyle. Significant achievements are built from these individual 20-minute segments. Success is the accumulation of the loops you chose to start. You are no longer waiting for a mood that may never arrive. Using a mechanical process instead of an emotional one gives you a reliable way to dictate your own output. You have a choice. You can continue to scroll, or you can put the phone down and start your first 20-minute block right now. For more frameworks on high-impact systems, subscribe here. Your future self is the direct result of the momentum you choose to manufacture today.